This is the final pantry challenge week. We are week 9, the last week of February, and I can tell you I'm really excited that this pantry challenge is almost over. If you're new to our channel, we're the Canny Couple. I'm Julia, Aaron's behind the camera, and we're a small homestead family in rural Southwest Virginia that work every day to merge homesteading and frugality. One of the ways we do this is we participate in the hashtag 3 Rivers Pantry Challenge, and that's what we have done this January and February. And let's go ahead and jump into our meals for the week and talk about the pantry challenge. So this week we are doing a spicy ziti, but we're not going to spice it up as much as I would normally spice it up for Aaron and I. We're going to do it very light on spice because my little one does like it. We're doing a taco chili, and we're going to do a rice pudding congee for breakfast. So let's go ahead and get started. We need to get dinner ready, and I've got all my prep work sort of done. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add some oil here to our pot that I cooked my pasta in. My pasta is already cooked and ready to go into this whenever it's done. And I'm going to turn it on about a medium high heat. And then we're going to add garlic. This was garlic we grew that I had sitting here. We had let sit outside. Our screened-in porch has turned out so wonderful for curing vegetables, especially garlic and potato and things like that. I've loved how that's worked. So got my garlic, and I'm going to add oregano. And the reason I have to start this first is I need my garlic to cook with my spices. That's important. This is what makes this taste so good, is you let those spices really kind of start to release. And I'm a little stuck, so I'm doing a half a tablespoon. I'm being very careful here because I do not want to burn my little one up. Aaron thought that would be a good amount. Normally I do about 2 to 3 tablespoons.
That might even be putting it lightly.
I would do about 2 of these spoons. I'm going to add a little bit more oil here. But remember, I bulk cook, so that seems like a lot to a lot of people. You can even cut that back more, but I bulk cook, so this will feed us for the week. We're going to let this cook. Now I'm going to get my rice going. Let me get a spoon here. Oh, and that's pasta water to add in when we're ready. So I went ahead and pre-cooked rice. This is probably about 3 to 4 cups. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add milk. So I have made congee before. Aaron was not a fan of the savory congee.
No.
He wasn't. He didn't like it as well. And I'm reusing our shelf-stable milk here because I need to use this up. It goes bad in May. So I need to start actually using this up right now. And I'm going to start with 1 quart here. Oh, that's going to be plenty. And what you're going to do here is you take cooked rice and you're just going to cook it on low until the rice kind of explodes. And it kind of becomes like this thick pudding-like texture. It turns really good. It's kind of, I liked the savory, but I love rice. It wasn't Aaron's favorite. He thought he would like it sweet, so we're going to try it sweet. I'm going to put in a cup of sugar. Remember, this is breakfast for us the whole week. So 1 cup of sugar. And then I'm going to add in a splash of our home vanilla. And this has been the really good stuff. We've really enjoyed this. Now, I know there's a lot of varying things out there about vanilla. We are actually one of those that we let our vanilla set for at least 6 months before we actually use it. We're not a 2-week or a 6-week.
Like a year is what we've
Sometimes
been doing.
we prefer a year, but 6 months is our
minimum.
minimum.
Yeah.
And that's already smelling good. So we're going to turn this on. I'm just going to let this simmer. I don't want this to cook hard. I want this to cook low and slow. And it's probably going to cook for about 1 hour to 2 hours. And I'll just keep stirring it and watching it. I'm really excited about this. Now, what we're going to do to make this more palatable for Aaron, I have a jar of homemade blueberry jelly. I need to use this up. This is a really good way for me to make this more palatable for Aaron. I will love this plain, but I'm your plain Jane girl. I eat a hamburger plain. with cheese and patty. That's all I want. Aaron, not so much. So, great way for me to use a lot of the jellies and jams that we have that I've made for him in the past. That it's maybe not his favorite way to eat it, but he likes it and things like this. So, let's go ahead and get the rest of our milk going. And if you haven't checked out our short yet, we did a short on how much we actually spent for groceries this year, or this month.
Well, no, this year actually.
Well,
too.
yeah, this year. This year, I got to drain this cord. And we were actually at $97.99
For the month, yes.
for the month, and $175 for the year.
I believe that was it, yes. So that was, with us doing the working pantry model where we were trying to keep it at $100 a month, which we were able to both months successfully, which is really going to save us on our grocery budget for the year.
Absolutely. So I added corn, and what I have in here is sausage. So for my taco bakes, I found sausage it has been amazing.
Yes, it has.
It was so good. I can't believe how good that actually was when we used this sausage a couple of weeks ago. It just completely changed it. It did. In my little one, I have her, she'll like pick out chicken, pick out hamburger. She won't pick out the sausage. So I've added sausage that I've pre-cooked, a can of corn. And if you like salsa and you have some salsa, throw that in here. I'm going to do 2 cans of beans. I'm doing 1 can of black beans, 1 can of red beans. The last time I made chili for us, Aaron said it wasn't quite tomato enough for him. He said it was good. He would just rather have more tomato. So I'm doing 2 jars of tomatoes. Be careful not to cut my finger. And I have my tomatoes here. These are home canned tomatoes. I don't know if these are ones we grew ourselves. I don't think they are. I always do a sniff test. I'm sorry. It goes against my grain not to make sure the tomatoes are okay. I can't just pour them and go. And while I'm doing this, I'm also continuing to stir. It smells so good. And I think I'm ready to add in my meat. So I have my meat here ready. And this is how I cook. I go between one dish to the other. So we're just going to let that brown up just a little bit. And we'll go ahead and get that other jar of tomato into our chili. And if you can't hear me, I'm sorry. This is sizzling. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we're adding taco seasoning to this instead of chili seasoning. This is a taco chili. So it should be really, really good. I'm excited about this. It seems like something we would really like. If you like onions, throw in onions. If you like salsa, you could put in salsa here. Anything that you would use for, tacos, throw that in there. That would be really good. We'll give it a stir, and we're just going to let this simmer. But this is basically done till it cooks. And now we just have to finish off our dinner here. That does look really good. And I cut this up pretty fine because of Isabel. I always try to make sure I'm really careful that anything that has like hot dog shape, anything round, I don't want her to get choked on it. I want to make sure it's easy for her to eat. And it's about how I would normally cook this. Now we're going to add in 3 quarts of tomatoes. So I pureed these with my immersion blender. We're going to pour these in here. All 3 of them. And then we're just going to let this all cook together. And what I will do is I'll add some more seasoning to make sure this is seasoned enough for us. Not the red pepper flakes, but oregano and basil. We'll let this cook for a little bit. We'll add the pasta, and then I have some mozzarella cheese I pulled out of my freezer that I had bagged up and put in the freezer. I'm gonna go ahead and add some more. I can tell you just by looking at it, it's not got enough seasoning in it. But I pulled it out. We'll put that in there when it's done. This maybe takes, God, what, 40 minutes total to cook? Especially when you do your pasta first. I like to cook my pasta, reuse my pot, and then cook all my other stuff, then add my pasta back in. So we're gonna let everything here simmer. That's really where we are right now. To put the lids on it, let everything simmer, and we'll come back and everything will be done. I'll throw the pasta in here with some cheese, and Aaron will be our taste tester.
Okay, so we're gonna start out with the taco soup first. Is that what you
Taco
call it?
chili.
Taco chili. I'm sorry. Okay, let's see. That's really good.
Is
the
it?
taco seasoning really makes it taste different than chili.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
You like it?
Mm-hmm. We're good. Okay.
Fill it up a little bit higher. Thank you. This is the rice pudding congee.
I don't know if I'm gonna need the blueberry with this.
You don't?
This is so
Creamy.
creamy and sweet tasting. What could I compare it to? I don't know that that's really good though. I could eat a whole bowl of that, easily.
Good breakfast.
Okay.
Okay.
And you forgot to tell them you made
Squash, yeah. So
Yeah.
I did squash, and it didn't want to thicken up. I was going to do it mashed, so I ended up making a soup to go on the side.
squash. I mean, it's good.
It's good.
Okay. Let's see how the spicy ziti is without the spice.
It's got a little after heat at the end.
Good taste.
A little after heat, not much, but a little.
Yeah, not much after heat. I mean, I would like it a little bit more heat, but not bad at all.
Not bad. We had to be careful because of the baby. Didn't have anything to pull out for her.
Exactly.
So we had to do
But
what we had to do.
the
Rice.
pudding, that's really good.
That's your favorite. But everything else is good this week.
Everything else is great this week. I ain't gonna have no trouble eating it.
And if you want to hear a recap of how we feel like the pantry challenges went, please make sure in a couple weeks to check out our podcast. It'll be on YouTube or on Spotify, wherever you like to listen.
Yeah, and that'll go through. We'll talk about what we've learned, what how it helped our budget, what holes we noticed we needed in our pantry, or us just getting away from a lot of the processed foods.
And the convenience items that we need on the weekends.
Right. But, any comments, questions, you can leave them down below or send it to thecannycouple@yahoo.com. Make sure to go over and check out our link tree, which has all of our other content. And
thank you for joining us on The Canny Couple, where we work hard, live simple, and enjoy life. Have a wonderful day.